Hello, Chef.
Hi. Hi.
I muted myself instead of you this time. That was a user error. My bad.
That's the wrong thing to do. Yep.
Welcome to the show, Chef. I was just saying, finally glad to have you on. How are you doing today, man?
I'm doing awesome.
Awesome, dude. Chef is a new sponsor streamer at TRUgaming, guys. If you don't know him, he's been in the community for a little while, though. And today we're going to talk about his journey to partnership on Twitch, how he got there, lessons and advice for other people looking to get there, and where to go moving forward from that. So really excited to continue this series. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you're not familiar with this show, basically every week we talk with streamers on Twitch, in an interview show where we do one-on-one interviews like this. And I just really go deep on something with, in this case, Chef. And then also we do call-in shows every Friday. So we will take viewer questions at the end of the show. If you have a question for Chef or myself about his partnership experience or just Twitch in general, hold on to that for now. We will get to it later at about 12:40. So hope you guys have some questions to ask because we're looking forward to those this week. So just to get started though, Chef, can you just kind of give a quick explanation of your channel as a whole and what you're all about?
Absolutely. So I've been streaming for a couple of years, and I think I'm the true embodiment of a creative, or not creative streamer. I mean, partially, but variety. I do the creative streams or IRL, depending on how you want to frame it, and I play games, and then within the game space, I play pretty much whatever I feel like playing. So something a little bit for everybody. Although most of my notoriety or popularity came from the cooking content.
Sure. You've definitely played a lot of that up on your channel from your branding and all that. So
absolutely.
Awesome. Excited to hear like more of the journey of that, but we'll say that for just a little bit. So speaking of which, your username, ChefLethalPlays, how did that kind of come about? And did you have any previous handles or usernames that you went by before?
Okay, so I'll try to keep this semi-brief. So I don't I don't work as a chef. I'm not a working chef. So I work in like office environments. So many years ago, I worked for a large corporation on a small team, and I was the new guy. You know, all the guys on the team had been there for 5, 6, 7 years. I was the new guy, and they were trying to make up, sort of a hazing nickname for me. And they threw out some really, I mean, nothing was actually like bad or anything or offensive like that, but they were like, oh, we could call him some stupid thing or some stupid name. And this guy who ended up becoming one of my good friends said, what about Lethal, Jay Lethal, because my first name is Jehoshaphat. And so Jay Lethal. And I was like, hey, that's a pretty cool,
that's not a hazing name.
As a newbie, I mean, that could be a great, that's not a bad nickname, So I kind of, the whole time I was with that company, I was Lethal. Everyone just called me Lethal. Even people that I didn't work with call me Lethal because of that nickname. So that obviously stuck. I mean, I'm very proud of that. I mean, it's great.
Right.
The chef part is semi obvious, but for those of you who don't know, have never seen me before, I am a classically trained chef. I enjoy cooking outside of that, but I went to Le Cordon Bleu and graduated. So I have a piece of paper that says I'm a certified culinarian, and I play games. So there you go, ChefLethalPlays.
Very cool. Yeah, I didn't know you were actually classically trained too. So that's really cool to hear about. Cool. So let's just wrap the warm-up questions up a little bit here. Do you have a favorite moment or maybe favorite moments on Twitch? First of all, how long have you streamed on Twitch?
Okay, so I saw the note and I was like, when did I start streaming? So my first stream was in, I think, May 2015.
Wow.
And then my first cooking stream was in February 2016.
Okay.
And for those of you playing at home, those dates will be very important when we start actually getting to my partnership. But in that time, from then to now, I've had several really cool things happen. So I was featured on Twitch Weekly as the creative spotlight one week. That was nuts. That was the best opportunity for my channel. Obviously getting partnered was pretty cool.
Sure. Did it happen midstream?
Yeah. So we did a thing on stream with that. My wife got me like a sash, like Miss America.
Oh, that's
and there were
cool.
balloons everywhere. It was really cool. There's a highlight somewhere on my channel. I think it's muted because I'm an idiot and I played Europe's Final Countdown because I thought it was cool.
They're cracking down on that, man.
No, well, I have the local recording,
Ah,
so I have it for posterity, but I can't really do anything with it
right.
lest I get banned. Um, let's see. Oh, I was also part of the official Twitch food launch. So when Twitch
Oh yeah.
launched their food, so if you guys are interested, twitch.tv/food is the official food channel. It's always on, and for the longest time, that channel was only following 50 people, and I was one of them.
Wow.
Since I don't know how long ago, but since now the that number has ballooned up to 73, but I'm still one of the first. That was pretty cool.
That's crazy. Yeah. Sorry. Halfway through that we got a alert, and so I just muted that. I forgot to do it before we started stream. So hopefully everyone heard what he said. Yeah, those are all really cool moments I definitely want to work through as we talk about your whole history on here. So let's go start doing that.
Okay.
So yeah, just first off, you started in 2015, and then you started cooking 2016. So do you just want to quickly, well, not quickly, lengthily give like the full description of like, how you started on Twitch and how you moved towards partnership?
Okay. So I don't know. It was really kind of weird. So I guess in 2014 or something, early 2014, I was watching Minecraft videos on YouTube. And I didn't even play the game at that time. I just watched a lot of YouTube videos. And as the year was going on, I was like, I don't see why I can't do that. I just want to do it. So for Christmas, I bought myself a webcam and this nice Logitech headset, and
Wow.
it's got a little microphone, crappy, gaming headset.
So you've had that same headset for 3 years now?
Yeah, I have.
That's great.
Logitech, not sponsored, but I wish I was.
Someday.
So yeah, so in January 2015, I went nuts. I created ChefLethalPlays on YouTube, ChefLethalPlays on Twitter, ChefLethalPlays on Twitch. I never even imagined that I would do any live streaming. I didn't really even know how to do it. I just knew that I needed an account just in case I got really famous and somebody tried to snipe it from me. Wishful thinking. So I started in January playing Minecraft and recording it for YouTube. And then as that kind of went on, I was like, I started looking into Twitch more and actually started watching more streams. And then, I started streaming there. And then through, was that 2015, I was really interested. I liked it, but I didn't do it enough. Like, I think I streamed in May, and then like 6 weeks later, I did another one. And then like in October or November, I said, you know what, I'm going to start getting kind of serious about this. I want to do this at least, a couple times a week if I can, because I'm going to play these games anyway.
Right.
And at the time, it was almost exclusively Minecraft. So it was like, it's a good game to just zone out and do stuff and just be able to talk. So I think for me, it was a good introduction because I like to talk. So then I got involved in a streamer group. Some of the members of True will know who I'm talking about, but I'm not going to mention any names.
That's right.
I got involved in a streamer group, and they encouraged me. They found out I cooked and all this stuff, and at this point, like, cooking was really sparse on Twitch. I think Domestic Dan was maybe one of the 5 people doing it. And I had equipment because I used to do YouTube videos under another channel name that I will not mention. So I already had like a camcorder, and so the leadership of the streaming group I was in was like, you need to stream cooking, like seriously, figure out a way, just make it happen. And I was like, I don't know, and they're like, shut up and do it. If you're good at it, just do it. You're good playing Minecraft, do it something else. So I did my first cooking stream in February, and it was madness, absolute madness. And I feel like one of the themes that we'll see throughout the interview here is that timing is a lot and luck is a lot in the Twitch world. Because I got started at the right time doing the right thing. And I think that people were, pardon the pun, hungry for food content because it was just kind of becoming an emerging thing. So then I just started doing that. And then, eventually throughout the year, that's 2016, I kept at it, and in March I was approached as a 300 follower stream. I was approached by Twitch staff because I was cooking. That was it. I was cooking. I remember the stream. I made corned beef and cabbage. It's amazing corned beef and cabbage, homemade. I cured it myself, like ridiculous. And I had like 3 staff members in my chat, and I was like, "What does that wrench next to the name mean? That's so weird." And I ended, and then they whisper messaged me and were like, "Okay, cool. Are you interested in doing something pretty cool? If so, you're gonna have to sign an NDA." I was like,
wow.
Okay. You know, so immediately I started like freaking out, like, what the heck's going on? And so they wanted me to be part of the launch. So I was like, there was a press release for it when they were doing the whole Julia Child thing. So they had me like create a promo video for that.
Okay.
And there was front page promotion, 300 follower stream. I was on the front page and had some good moments and then one enormously epic fail that if there's time for it, we'll save that for later because is bad. So that was really like the kickoff point for me. At that point, I realized like, holy crap, there is an audience. I am good at this, or so I've been told, because I try to keep it humble. And I need to go forward with this. And luckily, my wife is amazing, and she was like, "Yes, you do, because this is awesome."
That's great.
Yeah. So then throughout the year, I just kept streaming, and my numbers kept growing and growing and growing. And at a certain point, I was like, I could get partnership, you know, because creative was such as hot, like Twitch was pushing creative so hard.
Yeah.
I was like, I see people getting partnered with numbers that aren't too much greater than mine. And I probably started thinking that around August. So my first, you know, within the span of 6 months, I'm already thinking like, holy crap. So because of the previous, go ahead.
This is 2016 still?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So throughout 2016, I had this pathway to staff. I had staff members that were like actively trying to get me promoted. They were like, do you want a spot on the front page of creative? Like, I was on the priority list for the front page of creative when that was a thing.
Wow.
Because they had me up there, and I could, if I wanted to, I could like ask for a dedicated spot, and I got that a couple times. And
wow.
Yeah, it was nuts. Because that's what they were really pushing food, really pushing creative, and I was pretty good. You know, I one thing I always prided myself on was my production value. You know, I don't use, when I'm in the kitchen, I don't have a webcam. I use 3 actual camcorders, you know, and I have used camcorders from the beginning. I have an HDMI cable that ran throughout the house from where my computer was to the camera that I have to use. And it's like, that was the thing, you know, it's
right.
Like, I'm not just going to sit here with a web camera, because you can tell the difference. So then I started applying. Like when I felt like I was ready for it, I started applying, and I think I got denied 3 times. And it was I told you when Green slid into my DMs, I told him this. I said, I think 1 to 5% of Twitch partners of old, like before the achievement thing happened, I think 1 to 5% of partners have a normal quote unquote pathway. Like, I met the numbers and I got partnered, or I was already really good at that. I was already a professional and I got partnered. I think everyone else, it's like, man, I had to apply, and then they told me to fix this thing, and then I had to apply again. And that's what it was, because at the same time, I was still trying to stream games intermittently between my cooking.
Right. Yeah.
That was holding me back. They said, look, you know, you're getting really good numbers on your cooking stream, but it's bringing down your overall average. Why not stick to the thing that works? And my initial response was, because it's freaking hard. Like, I can sit here in this chair and play whatever for 6 to 8 hours. Cool. That kitchen, it's hot. I'm standing up the whole time. I'm dancing. I'm working. It's work, you know, and it was hard, you know, and with working a full-time job, coming home, I'm already tired. And now it's like, okay, now I got to get untired, stream mindset. I might have to go grocery shopping. I've got to do all these things. Like, it's a mess. And finally, I told my wife, I said, look, I want to get partnered. I think that'd be pretty cool. You know, I could really push this, and it'd be a nice little side piece of income. I'd love to get partnered, but I'm not gonna give up the gaming streams. I'm not gonna do it. And it got to the point where I gave up the gaming streams. I call that the official push for partner. I think I was cooking 3 nights a week.
Sure.
And oh my God, I was so tired. But I did. I went back on what I said I was not gonna do, and I pride myself on sticking to my word most times, and I just couldn't. I got so close, and they just kept telling me like, quit, stop, just stop
Yeah.
gaming. And so we made this joke in my community, like, oh, as soon as Chef gets partnered, he's gonna stop streaming. Foreshadowing. I got partnered in November 2016, and 3 weeks later we adopted 2 children.
Wow.
So kind of not the stream, I mean me.
Right. Yeah, I didn't know you could adopt children as a stream. You never know these days. Yeah.
You know those commercials where you send like $2 to the children in Africa?
Yeah, that'd be cool to do as a stream.
That's really sponsorship. That's not really adoption. Anyway, so that pretty much like it was funny at the time, like, oh, Chef's gonna stop, and then I really did, because I couldn't. You know, it's like I think I probably did maybe 24 streams in general in 2017.
Wow.
Like I know for a fact I've already done more cooking streams this year than I did any streams in 2017.
Wow.
And it's you know, July.
Yeah, not even, yeah, just over halfway.
Right. So I mean, that's pretty much the long-winded version of my journey. Starting I mean, so it happened so quick, and I don't like, people are like, oh, you're a partner. I got the check mark. I mean, really.
Right. Yeah.
I wouldn't get it now. Honestly, I wouldn't get it now. I know. Like I just got affiliate a couple weeks ago. You know.
Wow. Yeah.
So according to the dashboard.
Oh, right. That's great.
Yeah. So I don't know. There's a part of it that I kind of get a little bit of partner guilt sometimes. I call it.
Really.
Because
you feel like you don't deserve it.
A little bit.
I think that's common with a lot of. I don't mean this in a bad way, but like smaller partners, just relative. I have a lot of questions on everything you mentioned, by the way, but I've seen that with a couple other people too. So you're not alone in that.
I'll tell you the moment it turned around for my partner guilt was TwitchCon.
What changed?
Going into the party at the Queen Mary. I was there. I happened to have 2 friends that were there, and the line to get in for them was about 3 hours. And I walked right up to the gate because I had that little partner badge.
Right. Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? This is not so bad. I like this.
This is all right. Yep.
And everyone was glaring at me. I'm like, you know what? Numbers be damned. I'll just go to this party and do my thing. You know, it's fine.
We were at that TwitchCon and we elected not to go to the Queen Mary because we heard the affiliates had to wait so long. So
yeah, it was insane.
Yeah, that's crazy. All right, yeah, I have so many questions about everything. It's a really cool story. Firstly, I really like what you said. You know, you DM me saying you think that pretty much everyone has a different way they got partnered on Twitch, except maybe like 10% of the population of partners. Especially since, you know, before, what was it, last December or maybe like September, they introduced the whole achievement system. Before then, everything was kind of up in the air. Like there were no real strict requirements on how to get partnered. So that's part of why I like this series, is to figure out, you know, how people got there, and because there are so many different paths, hopefully that can help people kind of think through that a little bit. But okay, so first of all, you mentioned that you were starting with cooking streaming, and they came to you to be on the front page to help push just creative as a whole, or was it just the food stuff they were doing?
It was just food stuff that they wanted me, and that was before that was like third cooking stream. I was on the front page of Twitch.
Wow. Okay, so at that point, you weren't even partnered.
Right.
You just happened to be a cooking streamer, and they wanted you to sign an NDA and help like kind of hype up the launch of it, essentially.
Yep. Okay. That's exactly what it was. They were going to start with, they did like a week of straight Julia Child on the Food Channel. And the big part of that was supplementing the hype with, just like they did with Bob Ross. They did the same thing with Bob Ross when they launched Creative, I guess, as an official thing. And they brought Bob Ross on, and they did a huge marathon, and they had a lot of other creative streamers painting and doing paint along with Bob Ross and stuff. And they wanted the same sort of vibe with cooking and Julia Child. So they had, I know, it was, you know, a couple streamers they dressed up like her and cooked her recipes and stuff, and I was not savvy enough. I absolutely, if that happened now, absolutely, I'd be in the flipping wig and you know whatever. I don't know what sound I just made, but that's my
That's
Julia
the painting
Child
sound.
impression.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my new sub sound. But yeah, so I would totally do that now. But at that point, I was so green. Sorry. I was so new that I just was excited for the opportunity, and I just cooked whatever the heck I wanted to cook.
Right. That's
And
awesome.
it worked out pretty well.
Yeah. Okay. So moving forward a little bit there. So that, I guess, the launch kind of died off a little bit, but it was still popular on Twitch, clearly. And so you said later on, you got to the point where you would apply, but Twitch commented that, you know, your game streams were bringing down your average because your food streams were way up here, but then anytime you did gaming, I'm guessing it was a lot lower.
Yeah.
Do you remember kind of like what the disparity was in terms of actual numbers, just for like context?
It was insane. It was like, I think I was averaging 75 to 80 on the cooking streams, and the game streams maybe 10.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know, it was bad.
Reason I bring that up is because I think that's true of a lot of streamers. And so you knew that cooking streams were working well, right? But on some level, you wanted to keep doing the gaming streams because A, they're easier, but also B, probably just because you like gaming, right? And you like the idea of streaming games on Twitch.
Right.
And so you made that choice. Well, you told yourself you weren't going to give up the game streams, but eventually you did. What kind of triggered that? Was it just you decided you needed to get partnered no matter what, or was it something else?
I feel like I was getting close, and then my brain just kind of switched and said, you know what, just do it. You know, like I don't know, maybe if I thought it would be cool but you know, affiliates were not around at that time, so it was all or nothing. It was either you're a streamer and you know, your revenue stream is tips, no bits. I think
no bits.
No bits. Yeah, just tips. And then I think shortly before I got partnered, they introduced bits and cheers and stuff. So yeah, I guess I just like, you know what, just do it. And then I guess also the mentality was, once I get partnered, I can do whatever. They're not going to take it away. You know, so like I think I did a big subathon when I got like my first stream as a partner, and then after that I was like, oh, playing video games again.
Well, now you got it.
Yeah.
No, I just like to hear that thought process. Do you remember, you know, once you made that decision to switch to only streaming cooking streams, how long did it take you to actually get partnered after making that choice? Do you remember? If you had to guess, maybe
a month. I think I did a month.
Okay.
I think I committed. I think I told my wife, I said, look, it's gonna be hell. We're gonna have dishes coming out of our butts, but I think if I could do, and they kind of basically told me. So I ended up having a really good relationship with one staff member in particular, who also does cooking streams, and she was pretty much looking out for me. And I actually had a few phone calls with her, IRL phone calls, where she was like, look, you are close. Just push, you know, just push the cooking, go, and you know, you'll get it. Yeah. Basically is what she said. And I think after that phone call, I went to my wife and I said, I'm just going to do it for a month, just a month. We'll sacrifice all of these nights. It was all weeknights anyway. And then that'll be it. And then I think that's pretty much what happened for a month. I streamed cooking 3 nights a week, I think.
And it was hard, right?
Oh my God, it was the worst.
Yeah.
What am I going to cook? I don't know what to cook anymore.
Right. But that's what people wanted to see. So
yeah, no, absolutely. It was unbelievable. And I don't know. It was awesome.
I think that's a really valuable lesson. If your goal is to get to partnership or something, or just success with your stream, you might have to do things that you don't, you know, maybe you'd rather be sitting there playing games at your computer. Maybe the stream wants to see cooking or a podcast or something else that's like more intensive for you. But if you want to grow, sometimes you have to make that choice. And so it depends on what you really want to do with your stream at the end of the day. Now, like you said, now that we have like affiliate and things like that, it's not so revenue driven because, you know, in your case, you're basically, you know, all your revenue is coming from donations. People don't have the option to sub, to give bits, any of that kind of stuff. So it was a much bigger gap, I'm guessing, in terms of revenue compared to these days.
Oh, but, yeah. It was all or nothing. You know?
Absolutely. But it's still just important for people to think about that, right? Like, what are those things that people love to see that maybe, you know, you don't want to do it every day, but if you did, you'd see a lot more growth than you usually would. So
definitely.
you mentioned you had a good connection with the staff member. Did that come out of just streaming naturally, or how did that sort of come about?
It all came from that darn food launch when they reached out to me, and so I kept that line open. You know, every once in a while I'd reach out and be like, hey, what about creative front page? And like, okay, you know, but I always had that door open, and then when I got featured on Twitch Weekly, I never watched Twitch Weekly, but one of the staff members reached out to me and was like, they need somebody, and you would be perfect for it. So make a promo, do it now. And I was like, oh, okay.
When did that happen relative to like the launch and partnership?
That happened in November. It was like right before I got partnered.
Okay.
So I want to say like late October, early November-ish.
Do you think it made a big difference in helping you get partnered?
Probably, because they rated me at the end of the show.
Oh, okay. That helps.
And it was a beefy raid, so
right.
Yeah, I turned off my follow alert. I had to turn off my host alert. Like, it was nuts.
Right.
But, man, such a good memory.
Yeah, I just want to say, like, you know, some people in the chat are saying, you know, right place, right time, which is somewhat true. And you mentioned it even yourself. Like, you get kind of lucky with the timing of the cooking stuff, but you still worked very hard despite that. You know, you could have just kept streaming game streams while doing cooking streams, but you made the choice to go for cooking. Even though you didn't really want to do that, sort of. I mean, you clearly want to get partnered, but not necessarily by doing cooking streams. So I think it's important to like not just toss aside the hard work that Chef put in here to really challenge himself to see if he could get partnered by doing something that was going to be hard for him. So I think that's an important lesson for anyone looking for partnership.
I think it's important to note that, yeah, okay, I could just as easily stand in that kitchen and chop up whatever the heck I'm cooking and just cook with one webcam, barely talking, just like any number of beginning streamers with 1 viewer, 0 viewers that are just sitting here playing their game, ignoring and just not talking. Yeah. I'm in there working. I'm trying my hardest to put on the absolute best show I can, whether that be dancing, singing, you know, making a fool out of myself, which is kind of comes natural, but you know, like there are a lot of other cooking streamers that were there at the same time as me, right time, right place, that didn't get partnered.
That's true.
It's not a good, they're not putting on a good show. They don't have that audience retention, which I felt like I had when I got that big raid from Twitch. A lot of people stuck by because I put on a good show, or so I've been told. Humble.
No, that's really important because, like you said, the people that were in your exact position, like, yes, not many people had that chance, but there were others who had that exact same situation who didn't end up getting partnered. So I think that's an important thing to look at too. Cool. Let's kind of move on here. I'm loving this because we're already, half an hour into this, and I feel like I've just started the discussion. So I don't know if this will really apply to you so much, but were there any tools that really helped you a lot to move towards partnership? Whether that was, you have a very fancy setup for your kitchen with lots of cameras and stuff, you told me. It could be gear, it could be, bots or something, or extensions or whatever that really helped you in that push.
Absolutely. This right here. No, I'm just I was pointing to my face.
Sorry, guys.
Sorry, audio viewers. What? I don't even know. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know how to answer that. I mean, I ended up having a big tip goal because I had to buy a very expensive capture card for all these fancy cameras, and it would not have happened if I didn't, I wouldn't have been able to use those cameras if I didn't have the semi-professional capture card, quad capture card.
Sure.
Existed. But I mean, other than that, it was just, there's nothing fancy. I mean, I had a sharp knife. I don't know. I had sure. Branding. I knew my identity and I knew what I wanted, and I kind of stuck to it.
Yeah. I don't think you need any fancy tools. I just like to ask that in case there's something that you felt was really helpful. It could be like a Discord or something or whatever, but it sounds like you just worked really hard, and I think that's the best tool at the end of the day. So
yeah.
Okay, so kind of looking back at your whole journey to partnership, and even just your entire time on Twitch, what are some of the things that you think you did very well, or that helped you kind of get a leg up on everyone else to eventually get partnered?
I think having a good network is so important. And I'm not even really that great at it, but I saw the value of it. So I'm a lurker by nature, but I knew that no one's gonna, like, you can't network as a lurker so much. So I was
Right.
going into chats and where I already kind of established myself and was being a little bit more active, and eventually getting involuntary shout outs from, streamers and stuff. And then that was generating a lot of, interest, because again, right time, right place. People didn't even really know. People still don't know that you can cook legally on Twitch. It's like
Legally, yeah.
You can do cooking on. Yes, I can do cooking. I can do anything.
Is this allowed?
Exactly. I don't know. I'm just doing it.
Yeah.
So I mean, that was. I mean, that we'll get to that later. But I think that was like the number one thing for me was just building those relationships with people. And then, I mean, I put myself. Here's something else. I put myself in the eyes of a viewer from my stream. So I look at I used to watch almost every VOD because I'm a narcissistic, streamer. And I would say, okay, that was cool. That worked, and I think even back then they didn't have VOD replay with the VOD, their chat replay with the VOD.
They didn't.
So I had to
remember that.
Kind of just had to, I ended up on my overlay, I had chat on the screen so I could see, okay, chat was going nuts and I was able to, whatever. And ultimately, if I'm not entertaining myself, I'm not going to entertain most other people.
Right.
So I don't know. I just tried to put on the best show I could.
Right. No, I think that's really cool to hear. It's funny talking about like all the VOD replay stuff, because I used to have to review people's channels with that, and it was so annoying to not have chat in there. But yeah, so networking, it sounds like it was a lot of going into other streams specifically, because back then, I mean, Discord wasn't really around as much as it is today. Twitter maybe helped a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, the thing is, like, as motivated as I am to do a good job, at the same time, I'm kind of lazy. So I'd spend all this time in streams at work, not supposed to be there, on my phone, just trying to say hi or whatever.
Right.
And then so I'd spend time doing that, and then I go, oh, I don't feel like replying to that guy's tweet. It's fine. I just talked to him in chat.
Right.
So I knew, even still, I'm not great at that, and I know that that's a room for improvement. But I just
at least you recognize that though. And I think being on Twitch at the end of the day is more important than Twitter. So
I agree.
Yeah. Okay, so moving on here a little bit. I appreciate all the comments in the chat, guys. In just a couple minutes, we're gonna jump into Q&A. So hang tight. So I want to kind of talk about what changed for you after you got partnered. Now, obviously, you adopted 2 kids, so that's a big change. But in terms of your stream itself, maybe motivation as a streamer, for that second after you got partnered, how did your goals change? And maybe now, I guess 2 years later, how has your goals on Twitch, how have they changed overall?
That literal 2 seconds later. First of all, the first thing that changed was, it was daunting to go from basically 0 to 60 as a streamer and then partner, because it's like I try to keep it a secret that I got partnered. So all in one load, I had to get my sub alert set up and get my bits and all these things, and I couldn't test them because it's like day one it was live, and it's like, and then so I did a big subathon and try to get hype going on that, and so that was, I didn't really have a partner goal at that point. I just wanted to stream and get paid for it. I was trying to think of like subscription perks and gimmicks and stuff that I could do, and then the kids came. And then pretty much my only goal at that point was, how often can I get in front of the camera and do this? Because right now, I mean, it was non-existent. But then I guess it was later. It must have been later last year, after the initial shock and awe of the kids changing our lives. Kind of cooled down. My wife and I had a conversation, and like I said in the beginning, like, she is 100% my biggest fan. She realizes that this is my passion, and she wants me to do the best that I can in it.
It's great.
And so it was her suggestion, and she was like, why don't you try and stream like Sunday afternoons or something? The kids they have nap time and quiet time. for 2 hours. That's 2 hours where you can not have to worry about them. And then, as you're wrapping up for the next 2 hours, I'll keep them occupied or do whatever. So then my goal was, I just want to stream. And then it kind of transitioned now into, all right, so I'm going to try to now it's funny. Everything's kind of moving along in phases. So now it's like, okay, I've got the approval, so to speak, of once a week on Sundays. It's like I can do that. I mean, I haven't been able to because things happen when you have kids, but I try, regardless of what some people in chat might be saying. I see some names in there, I know, making me nervous. But so then it was okay. So what else can I do? And then Mrs. Lethal was like, well, why don't you cook during the week? At the time, like beginning of the year, I was doing my Sunday cooking stream, and I was gaming on like Tuesdays and Thursday nights, which is really hard for me because I can't stream that long. Because that was another conversation she had. She was like, look, after they go to bed, why don't you stream sometimes? Like,
right.
And so I did, and at that point it's just streaming to stream because most of my viewer base community was like, I have a lot of European watchers, and so they can't make it because it's like 2 a.m. for them, but they come out anyway because they're awesome. So then it was, well, okay, these Tuesday streams, why not? So this was her idea. She said, why don't you cook on Tuesday nights as an experiment? And this is something I recently wrapped up, I think last month, of we experimented with Tuesday night cooking streams from 6 to 8, where that was it. Like after 2 hours done, you have to turn the stream off. And I was like, okay, you want me to cook more? Okay, well, that's fine. Let's do it. So we're kind of factoring out of there, and things have happened since that point that I haven't even been able to. But
sure,
the option's there. So now the goal now is just I'd like to unlock a new emote slot. I can't even talk. New emote slot, and we're mildly close to that. So I might have to start pulling some stuff out. But that's kind of a goal. I'd like to have a 6th slot.
Sure.
And by the end of the year, ideally.
That's cool. Yeah, it sounds like you literally didn't even have a chance to adjust to partnership after being partnered before you had to take a break. Like you didn't even get finished with thinking about sub perks before you're already off the stream. So
pretty much
that's crazy. And now it sounds like you're getting more of a rhythm to it again, and looking at emote slots and things like that. So do you have any long-term goals on Twitch, or do you have just more time now to stream as opposed to maybe when the kids were really young?
Well, you say really young. We adopted them and they were already 3 and 5.
Still older.
Yeah, obviously everyone's a bit older now.
Yeah.
But I think I have more time. I'm more comfortable. I think is really what it boils down to, because at this point I can, if they're being too loud on a Tuesday night and I'm trying to read a haiku I just wrote about some ingredient that somebody in chat picked because of a thing, I can look at them like, yo, shut up. Before, you can't tell kids that when you just adopt them because they don't know you. So it's just more comfortable. And I've even had my son on a few times. We just did one for his birthday as a Harry Potter theme. So having that flexibility, being able to do that is really helpful.
Sure.
And yeah, just I mean, the dream would be to go full time, and
right.
Like my in-laws will tell me, "Oh, you're so good at this. I don't see
you're
why
a partner. Why not?" I mean,
they don't know anything about that. They just know there's no reason why you shouldn't. I was like, I did the math, and I would need 4-digit sub numbers to pay the mortgage. Can't do it. Love to, but can't.
Yeah,
I'm a realist.
That makes sense. Okay, so I want to kind of wrap up this first portion because it's already 45 minutes. So just the last question I have for you before we jump into Q&A with the chat. If you could give one piece of advice to a brand new Twitch streamer about anything, what would you tell that person?
Sub to Chef Lethal. No.
We've done 40 episodes, and I'm surprised no one has ever said that. That is the first. So props to that.
Yes. No. Okay. So the first thing I would say, the biggest piece of advice is be patient. Nothing is going to happen right when you start. You're going to be sitting on 0 viewers, 1 viewer for a while, but you have to be patient, especially if you want to play Fortnite and stream and try to get successful, because it's probably not going to happen.
You never know. It could, but
It could.
Yeah.
I've had this discussion with myself. It could, but the likelihood of it happening, other than, in relation to just normal organic growth or getting involved in a team or an actual streaming community,
Right.
it's pretty low. So I think people just need to be patient, and
Yeah.
it sucks. It's going to take a while, but it's like, yeah. One thing, can I say something I regret?
Sure. It's
This
up to
isn't,
you.
this isn't advice, but this is something I regret. I regret, in a way, pushing for partner because I didn't have the time, like the actual years. These people that get partnered have been streaming with a full community for 3-5 years before they get partnered, and they have this really, really, really strong viewer base that'll watch whatever they do. I didn't have that. I for real streamed for less than a year before I got partnered, and I didn't have this backbone of a community to be there. And so I think that's one thing that was a big part of my partner guild was, man, it just happened so quick. I didn't have a chance to really bolster things. And it's like my subathon, I squeaked by like 50. I like in the 11th hour, in the literal 11th hour, squeaked by my 50th sub. I know a lot of people would kill for 50 subs, and I would too at this point. But and I saw people that got partnered at the same time as me that were streaming for 3-5 years, and they obviously had a much bigger community, and they're they skyrocketed. So I think that's just,
Yeah. I think you'd be surprised. You mentioned, that you have talking to your subs, I know. You mentioned that a lot of other streamers out there who stream for longer have a big backbone community who watch them no matter what they do. I think you'd be surprised at that, just in terms of how people would agree with you. Like even the big streamers would agree with you on that, and how you feel, where yes, they have these big numbers, but they can't just go stream anything they want. It's probably similar to you with cooking versus game streaming. You'll have a lot more people show up to cooking, but I'm sure you have people show up to game stuff too. And that's probably the same thing with big streamers, but of course they just have inflated numbers of viewers. So that, maybe it's like 15% of the viewers come watch this other stream. It's the same thing for a big streamer, but then it's like 1,000 viewers or something. So anyway, rant over. Thank you so much for answering my questions. And now it's time for the chat to ask theirs. So if you guys have a question for Chef Lethal Plays, now is the time to ask, or myself. But most of the questions usually go to Chef. By the way, thanks for the subs that we had in the meantime. It looks like XDan45 got gifted a sub from GatherBot. So thanks, Dan or GatherBot. And also Bear Sound, thank you for this sub as well, guys. We appreciate the support a lot. And yeah, if you have a question for me or Chef, just tag at GreenChord or at ChefLethalPlays in the chat with your question, and we will get to it. I promise. In the meantime, you're getting a lot of community questions, I think. How does it feel to insult your community like that, Chef? That's what.
Oh, you know what? It's what I do best, honestly. Between that and canceling streams, it's the best.
All the time, yeah. Best known for that, I guess.
Years of practice.
So I have a couple of my own questions I'll ask in the meantime. We're waiting for people to get their own questions in. What's one thing related to Twitch that you are really excited about recently? Either like a new feature or a caster or something about Twitch that you're just excited about?
Something about Twitch that I'm excited about. I think the bounty board was pretty cool that they added. I don't know if that's still beta, I think.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to partake in it, but I think it's a pretty cool opportunity for people that have the numbers to be able to do that sort of thing and are too shy or don't think that they're good enough to reach out for their own sponsorship or anything like that. It's a nice little additional revenue stream, I guess.
Right.
I don't actually know if it's available for everyone or if it's
I think it's partner only right now.
Okay, well
and beta. So
perfect. Double whammy. Great job, Chef.
Actually, Step just signed up for us. Maybe it's not just partners, but
okay.
Yeah, I think it's an exciting thing. If you guys haven't heard of it, it's still kind of like hard to find out about. Basically, Twitch is making this system where you can agree to stream a game for a bounty, which basically means you essentially get paid to stream a game for a certain amount of time with maybe with a certain amount of viewers. I don't know all the details of it, but
I can elaborate if you'd like.
Okay, yeah. If anyone has more questions on that.
So for the ones that I've seen, for me, it was like play this game for an hour with hashtag sponsored in your title with an average of 22 viewers, and we'll give you $20. If you have less than that, we'll prorate the amount that we give you, but here's your deal.
Gotcha.
That's basically
right. But you're interested in it, sounds like.
Kind of. The thing, if gaming was my bread and butter, again with the food puns, if gaming was my bread and butter for the stream, yeah, I'd probably be a little bit more interested in it. But I'm not going to waste my time when I know that I'm not going to get the numbers that they want.
Right.
So why bother? I've got some other side things, going on that it's fine.
It's happening. Yeah, I think it could be a cool potential thing. We talked about it on a past episode. I'm excited to see when it actually comes out for full launch and see how it goes. But yeah,
it's pretty cool. It's a good opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely, for lots of people. So Angry Grinja has a question. She says, you mentioned networking and community. How did you network to grow your stream, and did you use a lot of social media? Is her question.
I didn't really use a lot of social media. I mean, I was kind of on Twitter. I think we're all on Twitter pretty much. And I only did that because I felt like I had to. But as far as like networking goes, I was already part of other streamers' streams that I liked. And so while like the streamer themselves never noticed me or anything like that, I, through whatever small amount of chatting that I would do, kind of built up, you just naturally build up people that recognize you, or you recognize by saying hi to them and chat and stuff. And like, it sounds so cliche to say, but like, I just go in and say hi to people and they say hi back. And then eventually somebody's going to click on my name and go, oh, he's a streamer.
Yeah.
And then, it just kind of goes from there. So, I don't know. I felt like it was very, very natural sort of networking, mostly on Twitch though, mostly going into other streamers, obviously not going like, check me out, man. This,
right.
But just saying hi and waiting, being patient. Mm-hmm. And it got to a point where, the streamer would see my name and go, oh, hey, chef, what's going on, man? What are you cooking today? And stuff. So, that was pretty cool.
Was it other like chef streams, or was it just game streams?
Game streams.
Okay.
Yeah. I barely watch other food streamers.
I can imagine you're kind of sick of it yourself.
I get triggered relatively easily.
Oh yeah, I could see that too.
With food related stuff, and I can't handle the stress of it. Yeah.
That's hilarious. Well, yeah, I think it's important again that you stay on Twitch was your main one, right? You weren't using a lot of other social media, but you were just being natural with it and just making friends essentially on Twitch. Not any sort of gimmick to how you here's my 10-step process for networking with your favorite Twitch chat or something.
I wish I had something cool like that to do, or let me get my list. But no, it was just I went in. I was already watching these streamers for a year, so they knew. I'd subscribe here and there, or tip them here and there. But like you start saying hi enough times, people are gonna recognize you. Yeah, and say hi back.
I think it's important too. Okay, thank you for the question, Angry Ginja. I see a lot of great questions in your community. Caustic, I said that right, said, hey chef, is putting meat out of the fridge for about an hour long enough to get it to room temperature?
It's Caustic, and I'm going to kill him. This is a very big trigger point for me. So one thing that I do on my stream, and something I believe in, is doing the science behind the cooking. So like a lot of what I do, I don't just do. Like the way I learned how to cook was by learning why, not how. Like the how comes, but the why is really important, the way my brain works. And that's how I teach on my stream. I'm just standing there, cooking, doing whatever. It's like I'm explaining what's happening. And one of the big rumors and myths that a lot of people believe is if you stick a piece of meat out on your counter for an hour, it will reach room temperature and it will cook more evenly. And they know I'm getting worked up about this. This is why Caustic brought it up, because it's not true. Not true. It's a myth. You'd have to leave the meat out for several hours for it to get to room temperature. And even then, the benefit of it would be so minuscule that it would offset the fact that you now have food poisoning by leaving a piece of meat out on the counter in an unsafe temperature.
That's amazing. So you guys are learning about cooking food on the stream as well. Just a double whammy of all the learning stuff today. The entire chat is filled with these type of questions right now, so I love it. Including how to spatchcock a chicken I don't know how to say that.
Okay, spatchcock.
Okay.
It's it's an old British term, from what I understand, meaning dispatch the cock or kill the chicken. And basically, you remove the backbone from the chicken or other poultry item, such as a turkey, duck. It's all the same, to flatten it out, so it cooks a lot faster and more evenly. In fact, that is the only way I will cook a whole chicken right now. I will grab my kitchen shears, which I had just removed from here. You cut out the backbone, put it like open, like meat side up, crack the sternum. Delicious.
Huh. Awesome.
Yeah.
I'll have to check that out. All right. Well, I'm seeing all food related questions in the chat right now. If anybody has a Twitch related question, maybe about partnership, about chef stuff, or we can keep talking about food. Either way, I'm okay with that. I'm hungry now, but we can keep talking about
Universal
food.
language, Green.
Yeah. So quickly, I'll mention this question. Have you seen the new things that Twitch is working on? They announced this little thing yesterday with like that little Trello board. Have you seen that?
You know, I'm a bad streamer. I saw the email about. I'm guessing you're talking about discoverability.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I did not watch it. They did a stream on it. I was just like, you know what?
Oh yeah. I didn't watch the stream. I just read the Trello board. And we're going to unpack this a lot tomorrow during the talk show, because I think it's more relevant to affiliates. And of course, you know, probably still small partners or partners of any kind are interested in always having more eyes on the stream. But I think this is really exciting for affiliates who have like 2 to 3 viewers or something. So I just want to see if you had any thoughts on that. But it's all right. We can.
I mean, anything to get more eyes on streams.
Yeah.
Is gonna be good. I think Twitch needs to do more for itself in general. Because there are still people that they don't know about Twitch that would be really interested in people love things. You can go to Twitch and find something for everyone, I mean,
right.
I told my father-in-law, like, there's a dude on here that blacksmiths. Like one of the guys in chat bought me a knife that was custom made by a dude who streamed it, blacksmithing it on Twitch. Like, there's something for everybody, but people don't know that.
Right.
I think Ninja, I hate mentioning Ninja, but I think he has helped a lot just getting platform notoriety, I guess, for lack of a better term, because, people are going to watch his stream and then they might start clicking around and seeing that there's, hundreds of thousands of other people doing stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah. More people on the platform as a whole, basically, from him.
Right.
So, all right. So a couple good questions to wrap up here, because we're almost nearing an hour. So Anki Grinja asks again, outside of networking, what do you suggest to make your stream grow? That's just a pretty general question, but any big tips there?
What do I suggest to make the stream grow? Well, I think a nice pH balance in the fertilizer is going to be paramount.
Absolutely.
Regular watering. I honestly, I mean, I could say anything, but ultimately, I think as long as you are doing something that you enjoy and it shows, like I could sit here. It's funny, I turn this camera off, I play a game, I'm just going to sit here and I'm just going to, zone in and do my thing. I might be having the time of my life, but no one would ever know. But I turn this camera on and instantly, I'm going to be a little more animated. I'm going to be more fun to watch because that's what I want. I want people to be entertained. So I think having fun doing what you're doing, making it show that you're having fun doing what you're doing, and being really brutally honest with yourself. I think a lot of people, myself included, will give themselves feedback, but it's like half feedback because you don't want to hurt your own ego.
Right.
So it's like, I use this in the weight loss space a lot, is like, okay, I'm going to lose 20 pounds. That's my goal, 20 pounds. When really I need to lose 30. But my ego thinks I only need 20.
Right.
Those aren't real numbers. Don't come at me.
No relevance here.
Right. But, I think that's the reality. It's like, oh, I'm putting on a great show, and you watch your VOD and you're like, it's a good show. But really it's like, you're just sitting, not doing anything, not being engaging. And I think that's what the platform is really there for.
Yeah, I think that's true. I like that you mentioned watching VODs, by the way. I think that's really important and you should definitely be doing that. Like you said, though, you can have the tendency to kind of think, well, I don't think this is great. I enjoy watching this. But then, you're you. So, of course, you like watching yourself. So watch out for that and be a harsh critic of yourself. Cool. So I have one more question. That's a real question from Clever Wrath Luna Takeover. That's a crazy name. I love it.
Yes.
It says, what do you do and why should I watch you?
Huh.
That's a good way to end up the stream, I think.
That's a great way to end the stream. So let me tell you something, person whose names I already forgot. I'm bad at names, so don't take offense. I have 3 passions that I've found through Twitch: cooking, entertaining, and teaching. And when you watch me in the kitchen, you will find that I do all 3 of these things with excellence. And when I stream, I put my whole heart into it, and I mean it. So if you like learning about cooking and seeing some mildly overweight guy eat food that is probably really, really good, and then takes pictures and puts them on his Instagram page, I'm the place for you to go when I stream in the kitchen.
There you go. I couldn't have said it any better myself, guys. That's a perfect summary there, I think. So, yeah, I think we're going to end on that. Chef, thank you so much for coming on the show, my man. Anything you want to add before we kind of head off here?
First of all, I want to say that there are some beautiful, beautiful people in chat today, and I really appreciate you guys coming out and saying hi and participating, whether it be making fun of me or just asking questions, because I do enjoy. I tell people all the time, like, every stream isn't asking me anything, just ask me stuff, and no one ever says anything. So having these questions and kind of having this conversation is something I really enjoy. So thank you, Green, for allowing me this opportunity. Thank you for the recent sponsorship. I got a particular shirt in the mail yesterday. It's pretty smexy.
Hey, there you go.
And I think I don't know. I've really enjoyed this, and I hope that I was able to educate you guys at least a little bit in this crazy ride that we're on. We're all in it together.
Absolutely awesome. Thank you so much for coming on. I'm gonna spam your link in the chat, so you guys should definitely go follow Chef. Are you streaming today, by the way, by chance?
As soon as we stop, I'm gonna go take a little bathroom break, maybe get some food, and I'm playing Dead Space.
Oh, there you go. You can watch him today if you'd like to. We'll also be ending our stream at 4, so maybe we'll kind of send some love your way after that if you're still going. Also, if you guys enjoyed this show, we'll be back tomorrow with Velok and Azumat for our call-in show. If you want to join our Stream Key community, I just posted the specific Discord in there. You can do that there to get in on the action and stay up to date with all the new episodes. So, but that's everything from us. I will talk to you guys later, and stay tuned for Doc coming on in just a couple minutes, or go watch Chef. Up to you. I'll see you guys later. Adios.